You know, on the side there, on your right, you should be able to see chat pop up.
I did. We're live,
Okay.
by the way. Hi, everybody.
Hey guys, they
Hey.
okay.
Hey, Jenny. Always great talking to you. I can't wait to hear what's happening on your end.
Uh-huh.
Haha.
Gonna be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
So fine.
So,
Did you
yeah,
put the link on your Facebook so I can? Because I never have a. Let me go in here and look.
I did put the link on my Facebook. Should I do it here? Put it on the chat?
No,
No.
no, I just need it so I can get into it. So my phone,
Oh,
I can
do you want me
see the
to?
chat.
Okay, so I can email it to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Hang
So
on. All
we're
right.
going into that.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing
Okay.
the link.
Okay. I'm going to copy it. I could
Oh,
put it
there it
in
is.
Messenger.
I found it.
Okay. I just sent it on Messenger too. Hi, Kevin Setter.
Okay, let me get in there. All right, live. Huh.
Messenger too.
Okay, I got it.
All right, awesome. Hi, Kevin Setter.
Just
Hey, Jeep. Hello, Don. Greetings, love and light. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rosalie. Hello, Brenda.
doesn't want me to get in there. It's
What do you
crazy.
mean? So, how do I get you in here?
No, it's just wondering why it's. Hold on a second here. That's on Twitter. Okay. Well, you're gonna look at the questions anyway, so we can go into that and all that. So other than that, I mean, we can start with any subject you want to go into first.
I feel like, should we just start with the breaking news about the Epstein client list being
Oh my
released tomorrow
gosh,
morning?
everybody,
What do
everybody's
you guys, what do
sicko.
you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I mean, this is the thing. I think they blackmailed everybody.
Right.
Anyway, I mean, actually, you just gotta. I think they're going to be more interested in who's not on the list. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? There's
Yeah, yeah.
more on the list. There's not. You know, maybe they might be shocked because the ones that are not on the list at all. That's what I think. You know,
Right.
so I don't think Mel Gibson's on there.
I don't think
Oh,
Mel Gibson's on there. I don't think
I,
Rob Schneider's on there.
nope. Robin Williams not on there.
Right.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot that's not on there at all. You know, so I think it's a list, but it's good.
So here's a question, because it seems like whenever truths come out, like people don't really believe it or take it seriously. Do you think that people are actually going to take this seriously at this point?
If they don't do that by now, it's gonna be scary.
I mean, I feel like there's the people who are awake, who know what's going on, and the people who don't. And the division, like the divide has gotten greater. It's bigger and bigger. And you could tell somebody what's going on, but they don't have, if they don't have eyes to hear and, I mean, ears to hear and eyes to see, I don't know. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think people are actually going to wake up or no?
Well, you have to look at it this way: who's actually because I've gotten down to the point. It's like they have so many non-human characters programs. You know, you're just like seeing that the ones that are not reacting to things, you're just like they're just not there. You know, they're not
They're
around. They're not
they're not there.
coherent in the situation at all. No, not at all. So, I
Oh,
mean, that's the whole problem with that. They're just not alert, not awake in any situation at all.
and I mean, I thought, when you heard about children being trafficked, that that would be the breaking point, that people would start really caring. But nobody, like the people who cared, cared, and the people who heard it and didn't believe it don't really care. Like
No,
they
they
just
don't.
can't wake up. They are just.
They don't want to hear it.
But even somebody, Rosalie said, if they don't see it, they won't believe it. But even if they see it, they won't believe it. That's the thing. NPCs are,
No,
yeah,
they
okay.
don't want to see it.
Yes, Pam Bondi is releasing the list tomorrow morning. Oh, and somebody asked about vaccinating the chickens. I can't even believe
Vaccine the
that's,
chickens, huh?
yeah, did you hear about that?
No.
Yes.
Hmm.
Vaccinating the chickens because of the chickens are getting some kind of bird flu thingy. And they're,
Whatever.
yeah,
I
first
don't
they
believe it's
culled the
going to happen.
chickens and then they're vaccinating the chickens. The
I don't.
Pope, yeah, somebody, Kevin, that is a really good point. Kevin just said, does the Pope croaking, oh, does the Pope croak to take the view off Epstein?
I don't
Well,
think it does. I would be more focused on what's underneath the Vatican now. Now that he's gone, now they need to get underneath the Vatican. What's hiding underneath the Vatican? All the demonic stuff they need to remove, isolate it, get rid of it, get it off this plane. That's what they need to focus on.
I agree. Amen. And also, what about the 53 miles of books in
Oh,
the Vatican
right,
Library? What if
right,
those books are from the Library of Alexandria that the Roman soldiers took and put it in the Vatican so we don't just to keep our real history away from us.
right.
Yeah, so what is the real history? What are they hiding from us?
Everything,
I
honestly.
know, like
They took
what didn't.
everything so we wouldn't have the knowledge. That's the whole problem. That's why I keep telling people you're going to have to relearn because everything you've been taught is a lie and you have to redo the history, reread everything, relook at everything and see it for your own eyes. You know, 100 years ago, you're going to have to look for authentic papers and diagrams and all that stuff because you're not going to believe anything that they've formed in the last 100 years at all.
I know. So basically, nobody. Okay, so everything we've been told is a lie. And even if we're told the truth, a lot of people don't even believe it because they don't want to see it. They can't fathom what's really going on. And
Yeah, they can't.
yeah,
Not in any concept, and this is the thing. The states are next. I so sense it, what they're gonna dismantle the states in every way, and they're already starting to, but I'm just telling you, when that comes that, and then it starts to affect people in their area. They're starting to see the change. In Washington, you're hearing about it, but now you're starting to see that movement. But the states are we need to see that reckoning of the states coming in, and that's the big part that needs to happen. um and I don't believe it's 5 grand that they're going to give. I think it's like eight. I kept hearing spirit 8 grand, 8 grand, because the money that they're giving is just
hmm,
it's just the start of getting you guys used to getting the money back, in this motion of things and getting it not in a way of like you're going to get it in the mail. We're not doing that anymore. You're going to have to get an account. You're going to have to pay attention to getting an account or how you're going to perceive it or through a card or whatever.
hmm.
But because we you can't steal this. This is the way this new system is. So that's the whole process with this. So to get it cashed, it's going to have to be cleared in a different way.
So when do you think that's going to happen? And I like the idea of eight versus
I
five.
believe it's next week.
Wow.
I believe it's coming next week. I believe it's coming. I just feel I'm like I try to push it. I'm like, okay, let me push it in middle of February. Like, nope,
Hmm,
go back.
hmm.
Okay, so the first part of February, as long as things are not delayed. But I don't feel that. I feel like it's already there and there's no reason to release it. And I think all this stuff that's happening with Trump, um, the King, Shepherd, and the ambassador, um, whatever title you want to give him, in that process is going to happen on that day. And he's going to really, if there is everything you need to pay attention to, everybody needs to be tuning in to that. I think it's at the 4th or the 5th that he's doing that day. It's one of those 2 days.
Okay.
They need to be
All right.
paying attention to every detail on there. There's going to be so many codes dropped, so much stuff. It's mandatory for everybody to be there. They don't get a jail free card with it. And I think some of the parties, they might be arresting all the people that are showing up. If you want to arrest people, have them all mandatory, show up, and then load them up on the buses. Be the greatest thing ever. Because,
So
90% of them need to go to jail in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, Julian Assange said 90% of our government is corrupt.
Yes.
So I know, he was not wrong.
Not at all. So yeah, it needs to change in what's happening to the situation on that completely. It's not something, you look at and go, oh, it's fine. No. It's like, no, it needs to be done across the board on the situation.
So somebody's asking about New York. What do you think is going to happen with New York? Will they take the money?
What's going on in New York in the past 24 hours? I don't know. I haven't looked.
Right. It's just so interesting to me that New York is the one state that just really will never, ever, ever.
Because there's so many rats in it.
Wake up, because
saturated in the rats. But the thing is, that's the example that spirits, that's the one city that you're going to see so many examples that are coming out. Like, Statue of Liberty is supposed to be hit by the rods of God. I've been hearing that from spirit forever. And like I said, all their symbolism has to be incinerated from this plane of this earth because their existence, not making it a part of the history, making it a part of the history that doesn't exist. We don't need it to exist. We don't need it in the books. We don't need it anywhere. Obliterate it. That's what needs to happen. So on that process, across the board on that whole obliteration. So you're going to see a lot of activity in the sky, a lot of activity of things being burnt or bridges being dismantled or symbolism. See, this is the thing. The bridges are the gateways. It's to contain and control, and those symbolism has to be moved. Those gateways, and when they do that too, they make a barrier, spiritually a barrier, whether it's negative, positive, and that needs to be completely cleansed across the board. So dismantling that whole process.
So you think that's going to happen in New York for sure?
Yeah.
Because the Statue of Liberty, everybody, like my friends and I call it the Statue of Lucifer. For the, obvious reasons that we've all heard that, he's a light bearer. It's really Lucifer. And then it's on the Star Foundation. And what else is going on underneath the Statue of Liberty? I mean, we've heard about dumbs underneath the Statue of Liberty, underneath the UN. I mean, I used to live near the UN. And whenever I walked past it, I always had like this feeling that terrible, horrible things were going on, even like 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, it's just like the Vatican, the most sacred places that are supposed to be good underneath are the most inverted, horrific places. That's my feeling. I mean, it's just to me that I can't wait until things really start happening, and they are happening.
Right. Exactly. Across the board,
across
on
the board
situation. So, and that's the whole. We're down to dismantling phases. I want you guys to look at this as dismantling phases. When you want to collapse something, this is what we're end up doing. So we're going into a council now. And what do? You're shrinking the government. You want to shrink. You're shrinking it down. You're getting rid of the trash. And the useless, I call them sloths that are not doing anything. Exiting them out, getting them out, filtering them out, finding out what's really there and what's really not. So once that's shrunk down to a process, okay, and then you got that certain percentage that's, say, a level of effectiveness. And then you have to decide what you need and what you don't need from those that are left, and then giving them a choice. It's either you're going to do this now and your job title is going to change, or you're not. So you make a choice what you're going to do and how you're efficient you're going to be and how are you going to contribute. Because that we're moving to a council, and then this is where you're going to get the process where it's going to adapt to other countries. Interchanging, working together, working on processes together, programs together, all that stuff. It's all going to come together. That's the whole thing. I mean, I don't know anybody else, but when's the last time NASA went out in space, huh? When's the last time they flew in their studio and did anything? It doesn't exist no more.
It doesn't.
Elon Musk has got big balls, man.
Answer.
They are everywhere. They're shipping left and right into space. I'm just saying, he's got big balls. They might be platform, but I'm just saying
he's got big balls.
He's dominated. It's good. Keep going.
I agree. I got to say one thing. I mean, just as an aside, the left just is so uncool. There are a bunch of crybabies. They look terrible. I mean, it's like, did you ever realize how seriously
non-human they are acting? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
but they all took the shot too. You have to remember that.
I mean, that's the problem. Honestly, I really think that is the problem. Problem is the shot. The problem is the shot because because we saw through the psyop.
Right.
And on some level, the people who did take it resent us because we saw through it and they didn't. And I think that's really what the big division is.
Well, it is the big division. It is the problem. It is the process. And now
it's the problem.
Okay, so that's a program. And like I said, whenever everything, what that program is as it goes up to the brain stem, I said, as soon as it gets to the brain stem, it's over. They're just non-functioning characters. They look at you like they have no soul. They're like, we don't care. I don't care if a dog was right in front of them. They just don't care. They don't care. There's no empathy or sympathy towards anything.
Right, because they were cut off. They were cut off from the chromosome 8. Exactly.
It's all gone.
It's all gone. It's gone. I know.
So in this process, this whole existence of this, it's just changed. So now, this is where I said I had that scene in New York where you see everybody and they're just standing there, and the people think these are humans. No, they're not. They're not anymore. And they're just going to be frozen there. And this is where you see this spiritual enlightenment energy is coming in so strong, and the 144 and the ones in existence. We all know. And I'm going to tell you, you guys have to understand. We're not in the 3 at all anymore. We're a reflection of looking at this now. Okay? But you're not really here anymore. That's what people are not realizing. Spiritually, you're not here anymore. It's not the same world. It's already broken down. The veils have broken down. We just can't look at it that way. They just can't see it. But there's no realness with it anymore because it is gone. So we're looking at things and thinking it's changed, but no, it's completely changed because we're just a reflection looking in. That's it now.
So that's why we can't relate. There's no dialogue. There's no connection.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to connect with that kind of.
And I'm talking, it's affecting us. We, maybe 2 months ago, we were going through all this wide impact ascension issues, and now it's kind of peased off a different way. And now you realize that your soul's adapted to it. Okay, it's adapted to it. You're in a different dimension, dealing with it in a different way. So where are you actually at? I don't think we're in, I know we're not in 3D. I know we're at the 4D and between the 5D. So I think we're in a space that changes daily, where that space that we are, but you can kind of feel that. So you're keeping this reality going. That's not a
Mm-hmm.
reality. It's a reflection that we're still in, but we know that 3D is not there, and they're creating this new door that we need to go through on the 5D, the golden age, and we're going to end up going that direction because Creator said, I'll be leading my people in the direction. I'll be leading the people there this time. I'll do it myself. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
he's going to do. So we are going forward to the 5D. There's no going back. But the thing is, all the realities of the matrix is crumbling. It's dissolving. Everything about it, education, nursing, um,
The
everything.
media, the
The
media is
media
crumbling.
is, yeah,
Look
it's
at what
all
happened just this week. I mean, Lester Holt is gone. Joy Reid is gone.
right.
Um, it's yeah.
It's all, and that's the thing. When they unplug it, it will
Mm-hmm.
never be plugged back in. And then journalism will come back, real journalism. Um, and that's the thing you need to see. Not some green screen crap. And they should set rules up.
Mm-hmm.
They should put codes at the bottom of the screens for the media now that like this is like what you say for how they do any type of grading and stuff like that to allow people to know that this is not a real reality. This is a setup screen and this is a live real reality. They need to have that up there so people can know the difference. They need to have it so they
Mm-hmm.
understand what is real and what is not. Where this has been created, this is live, completely real live. And that's what you need, like real journalism being on there, because people cannot tell the difference anymore. And that needs to be graded in different processing so people can understand and identify with a
Mm-hmm.
conscience of going in that direction of understanding the difference.
Well, here's the thing, Jenny. Like, and this was my issue with journalism for the past few years. There's been no questioning of any kind of narrative. I've actually spoken to many journalists, and I'm like, okay, whatever happened to journalism 101, who, what, when, where, why, how, that nobody asked questions. They just took everything verbatim. Even like the New York Times today said something like somebody died from measles because they were unvaxxed. They're putting out their disinformation, actually the wrong information. It's all information, but this is like incorrect information, globalist lies, right? But journalists are not questioning. The people who are writing the stories are not questioning anything.
Right.
I think the truth, to me, the truth is not subjective. The truth is the truth. It
Mm,
stands alone. It is what it is. You either deal with it or not. But I feel like you're either truth challenged or you're not. But truth
mm,
is such a divisive word. It's crazy. It's like I would rather know the truth. I'd rather know the facts and deal with it and work off that than live in some kind of perpetual lie. And I think everybody here would, don't you guys feel the same way?
oh, I think so.
I think so, right? I mean, that's why we're
So
here.
So you got the Epstein list. Let me explain this. You got the Epstein
Yeah.
list of that reality coming in. Well,
Mm-hmm.
another reality is they're going to show you everybody that exposed is actually working for the program, that's working for the narrative to confuse you. That's all. They're going to show that too. Whether they're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTubers, all of them, they're all going to be. They already have the information. But you can already see it too because you can see they're wearing masks. A lot of them that are even YouTubers are like, that's not even real. That's not the real person. You know what I'm saying? You see it all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And that's why I tell people, just tell them go like this.
Right, right. Like you
pull,
see
pull
like the
the
kid
neck.
in the
Pull the
mask.
neck.
Right,
See it
right.
move. See it move. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is you're starting to see the truth on that. And that's what I tell people. They're like, I can't believe we're down to just a group of people that we could trust now because that's what's left. And I go, and that's what Spirit said. We sent many. We sent many. Not a lot. Not all of them made it. Everything was a
Well,
test to
everything was a
how
test.
you serve, the light or the dark.
Service to others or service to self. And you know what? I
Exactly.
would rather be with my new posse,
Mm-hmm.
the ones who are in the light. I
Right.
I mean, like we were talking earlier before we even went live, right, Jenny? And I was
Mm-hmm.
saying that my friends told me that they're unfollowing me and they don't want to speak to me anymore. I've pretty much lost all my friends in New York.
Right.
And my feeling is, well, I'd rather hang out with the people who know what's really going on, who serve the light, who are of service to others. I mean,
Right.
look, I wouldn't trade you, Jenny Lee, for anybody. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. You want me on your boat.
I never talk to you then anyway. I do.
Right.
Not the Epstein
Yeah,
Island.
exactly. But the thing is, people are starved and want the truth now. They don't want to be entertained on anything anymore. They've had it. They've had it. And so when we get to this process, I want you to understand how people are going to be about their money when they get these big amounts in their accounts and everything. People are going to be like, the bankers are like, we don't trust you. You slime, and so there has to be a barrier that shows another barrier between the banks that, there's got to be a trust process in there that it's assured. But I'm telling you, everybody's going to keep an eye on everything. They don't trust them.
Well, that's good though, because it's good that we're keeping an eye on everything, because for so long we were blind, and not blind, but the truth was hidden from us.
Yeah,
the truth was
all
hidden.
across the board.
Yeah, across the board. We were lied to about everything. Everything. We were lied to about who's a man, who's a woman. We were lied to about where the money went. We were lied to about our history. We were lied to about diseases. We were lied to about medications. We were lied to about every single damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's about
And that reality has not hit until they really see everything and then go, relearn it all. We're starting over with a green slate. And you need to take notes and observe and ask questions and see it for your own eyes.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Well, Rosalie just said everybody's here saying, yeah, it's all about the truth. Yeah. So, yeah, we were fooled, but we're not fooled anymore.
No, not at all.
That song, Won't Get Fooled Again, is in my head right now.
Right. And that's the part, I don't know, you saw the Pope and there's a picture of him with a demon. And, and that represents the fact. Remember, I said I woke up one night when I had a dream and they were very deep in a description of the fact that they were going to take the ones that made the contract with them and take them back with them because they didn't win. And the light on this planet is going to go to a certain level, and the negative can't exist in that light. So, and that's what they talk about, those as dust to dust in a black particle, it'll just self-combust. So that's why we're changing, and you're just seeing non-characters walking around in this zombie process, and you're like, when are they going to be gone? Because it's a matter of time. No one gets a free ride.
No one gets a free ride. Well, then there's that whole Deagle. Did you hear about that? In 2025, they did say that the population was going to be culled. I mean, that's just horrific.
Well, but you got to look at what was the population. What were the programs here? What type of aliens were actually here? What type of, organic programs were here? All of this stuff, because we always thought, oh, it was all humans. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was decreasing a long time ago, and now you're just actually be able to see it for yourself and acknowledge there's not that many. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of programs in the churches. Wait till they go after them.
Well, okay, so what about the Pope? Some people are saying that he's in a coma and that he's already dead.
He's already been gone a long time ago.
I think he died last week. You think he's gone?
Well, the real one, I think he's been gone a while. This thing's just another program that they're just going to put out.
So you think he was gone when he was a hologram?
I think it was gone when Trump was standing there looking down the snicker and going, "You're going to die." That's why I'm smiling. And you're upset because I'm taking your gold and everything else that goes with it. So I think he was gone at that time. It's the same thing when he walked beside the lizard queen and Trump was smiling at her, walking ahead of her. He's just like, I'm taking it all and you're going, bitch, you're gonna die.
Yeah, well,
You're going to jail.
did you hear this crazy thing? I heard this crazy thing that the queen had like a casket that was big enough for somebody who was like 8 feet long because when she dies, she shapeshifts in the casket. That's what I heard. Kind of gross.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I just love that everything is crumbling and it's all coming down.
Oh, everything.
Everything.
We're in a lawless world right now. There's not really any laws. The police are not in control of anything. The judges aren't in control of anything. The lawyers aren't in control of anything. They don't have any authority. This is the military right now. I'm just saying, so, it all needs to come down. So we're in between these stages. So I'm saying we're not in the real existence that we think we are. So they have to, this is the thing, they can't sit and take their time anymore. That's why you see them pushing fast with things. It's going very, very fast. And that's why, like I said, that some type of mandatory guidelines need to be submitted to the public in how they're doing the med beds, how they're doing the financial, how the golden age is, how housing is going to come, how farming is going to change. Those guidelines need to be presented because people need to know what they need to be led by. You got to give them the manual. Put the manual out there for the new golden age in every process that we need to do. Travel, all that stuff that they're going to do. All the manuals need to be put out now.
So yeah, so basically you're talking about laying out the timeline. This is going to happen here. This is going to happen here. This is going to happen here.
No, I'm actually talking about instructions for the golden age.
Okay.
For financing, for housing, for med beds. You know what I'm saying? The new rules, the guidelines to how things are going to be implemented. See, people can read that. People can study that. They can figure things out. They feel a little rest assured. Okay, this is the new program. This is what we're going by. This is the development. They need that. So you're having people, some people are used to structure and they need that structure to know what they need to do so they can start looking at things and analyzing things and understanding how society is going to be ran. Right now, you got Elon Musk and you got Cash and you got Trump and they're breaking everything down. But I'm over here going, hey, give them some guidelines. You just got them hanging. Give them something. Open a door. I don't care. Take the sword. Take the hammer. Take the chainsaw. Break something. Give them a guideline. They're just sitting there surfacing, and you just took these people out of a programmed society and then they're just sitting there waiting. Give them something. I mean, this is like, we got to get going here so they could start to process, or they can start to study something, or they can start to go in a direction, but we're floating. We're just gay.
And I know, because it seems like we're just watching things as they happen and as it unfolds, and how can we participate? What do we do?
Right.
Yeah. So somebody just wrote, oh, this is funny, Jenny. Somebody said Trump needs you on his team. I would agree with that.
That would be an interesting conversation.
That would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, I mean, don't you know what's really funny to me? Like watching the media meltdown about Elon.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 2 years ago, they ran a story about Elon in the style section in the New York Times and how cool he was and how cool it was to hang out with him. And it was all like fluff and fabulous. And oh my God, he's so cool. And now he's like demon number 2 next to demon number 1, Trump.
You are bringing in structure. You are bringing in guidelines. You are making us do our job and go to work. Fuck you. No, fuck you.
Exactly.
For taking advantage of us. And know that you're playing us and know that you're not going to work. And it's almost like, oh, I'm sorry, but have manipulated society for so long, and now it's rude for you to ask for me to stop doing that. And so I'm used to it, and I'm used to screwing people over. Fuck you.
Exactly. And not doing any work. And now you're asking me to actually write down what I've done and I haven't done anything and nothing to show for it. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Because it's true. There,
No. It's
if
like
you can't fill out 5 questions,
5 fucking
are we that dumb
questions.
now?
Yeah.
I'm
No, we're
serious.
that lazy. Like that's the yeah, somebody said
That's
government
just saying.
feel entitled. Yeah.
Right. Do you
Yeah.
remember in first grade, when the teachers would even tell you, ask you 5 questions, even just to focus on yourself or what you want to do in the future. So, I mean, it's 5 questions like that. You can't answer kindergarten questions. You get offended. Come on. You're an
Like
adult. You're raising children. Oh,
I know. That is pathetic. Pathetic.
it is.
Yeah. It's like journalists can't ask questions. People who work for government agencies can't answer what they did during the day. It's like, yeah, you know what? That's not flying anymore.
You
You
know
know,
what
I
I need
just,
to do is take a big fire hose and go put
Mhm.
it into the building and just shoot them out. I'm just saying, cut the cord completely. Don't even listen to it. At this point on Monday, they shouldn't. Those one that haven't even applied to it, or acknowledged it, or did the email. The whole existence needs to just be done. There's no attention they need to be given. Just cut the cord.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it feels like this is the age of calling people out on their bullshit. Like, that's it. We have had
Right.
enough.
Yes, we have had enough of the deep state carrying everybody's balls in their purse. That's
Hmm.
what we've had enough of.
That is a great image.
That is so true.
Because that is so true. Yeah, exactly.
It's across the board on the situation, and I've been fed up from day one with the situation. I mean, the things is that the way I say things, people don't understand. Sometimes it's channel, and that's the way they want you to say it. I mean, it's just like be bold and truthful and be a warrior about what's really going on. Stop. There's nothing to hide. This is what's been happening, and this is what we have to correct, and we have to be vocal about it. Then when we
Hmm.
get down to a dismantling phase, the local people have to stand up. Okay, now this is all dismantled. Now the real people that want to do the work, want to recreate this earth, they got to stand up. There's no more sitting back anymore.
I agree. I mean, that's why when my friends in New York are like, well, we don't want to talk to you anymore. We've had it. Enough is enough. I'm like, bye. Because you know what? The time to hesitate is through,
Right,
period. Now, time to wallow in the mire, babe.
right,
It's like you got to
exactly.
stand up and, like, yeah. Kevin said the timeline is speeding up. It sure is. That's
Hmm.
what I love about this time right now. This is an incredible time.
It
It's like
is.
everything's accelerating.
Exactly. It's changing so fast and everything, but I mean, like I said, okay, just imagine when YouTube started in 2016 for this whole awakening. That was
Hmm.
just a swamp of bees just pestering. You couldn't tell the difference between reality or not. And then now
Hmm.
it's shrunk down to a little comb, and you're like, I trust that circle that's going right there. And most of those are not backed by any product pushers, at all
Right,
anymore.
exactly.
That's the whole thing. There's the key right
That's
there.
exactly like, you're right, Jenny, because I mean, I really think Prince said something that was really amazing. He said, "Whatever you got to be careful about what you watch, what movies you watch, because that's input, and that when you
Mhm.
take it in, it becomes part of you." And I really think it's important to really be careful about who you listen to and who you
Yeah,
because you want to take in the truth.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like if somebody has like a bazillion followers, I kind of don't trust that,
Hmm.
because how did they get that way? Like there's like somebody who wrote this book and he's has a million followers. He had a bestseller, and then
Hmm.
Dr. Jack Krause totally ripped him a new one. That guy Callie, yeah.
Right.
It's like you got to look out for the fraudsters. That's why discernment is really important. It's like we cannot be discernmentally challenged. Our radar has to be super sharp.
Yes. The bullshit meter.
Yeah,
Too much.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like
Exactly.
it goes off. You're like, no, they're full of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just well, and that it's just it's the same stuff that moves in a wave of crap around these platforms, and they're saying the same thing. Someone just put the one thing out there, and they're all following it. Now, why can't you just think about this on your own, or look at this, or analyze this, and use the words that are formed inside you to get the real information? Why is that?
I know, I know. I mean, there are fraudsters everywhere. Let's be honest. There's fraudsters like in the truth movement. I
Right.
mean, yeah. I mean,
It's
we don't need
yeah,
to name names, but we know who we're talking about.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell. Yeah, we know that
Wait.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, so the whole thing is, and Spirit says, don't worry, it's all going to come to the surface. It's all going to come up to the surface. It's all going to be seen. It's all going to be shown at the end. And you've noticed they have just a small chipped at things, and all of a sudden they're gone, and they've just disappeared, and they're gone. And I knew which ones were just going to disappear, and it's started. It's been starting,
mm-hmm.
and so at the end, the warriors are be standing there holding the line. We're still here. We'll still be here at the end. We'll still
Mm-hmm.
see this through because we were told to do this.
Right.
Um,
We're not giving up. We're not. It's like we're fighters till the end. Period. Basta. End of story.
the test that though these type of people go through, this is the thing. I mean, we literally get on our knees. We have been through physical harm, pushing everything. I had to look at my whole life at looking um, of what I've had to overcome, but the threats of every avenue that I've had, and you just still stand up and go, I don't care. I'm finishing the job. I don't care. I'm finishing the job. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
comes, whatever happens, and you just get to a level of a conscience of understanding that the light is making a way for you to finish, to get through it, to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're going to see us at the end. And that's what I want. I just want to be here at the end and see it all change. And then mission completed.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm just trusting the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is guiding me, and I'm just listening and doing whatever the light is pointing, going wherever the light is pointing me in whatever direction it tells me to go, I'm going. And that's really what
Exactly.
it is. And I could tell, like, I get it in my gut, in my heart, like what's going on. I just really am trusting intuition more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. And that, I've been trying to draw these emerald corridors, and it's so complicated because everything's green, everything's these seals, everything's these new languages, and are we going back in history? I think so. Are we bringing our history back to the surface, like literally bringing it back to the surface? Bells, what's underneath the churches? I mean, the pyramids, everything. What's in the oceans? All that stuff has to be moved to the top. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole process with this. Is I want to be here all the way to the end and to see it all. I want to see how bad they lied to us. I want to see how much history. and what's the history they were afraid of.
Okay,
You know?
let's talk about that. What do you think has been hidden from us?
Well, first of all, the Arcturians, and first of all, the Antarctica is just a cesspool of history, and the whole alien process is over there. I mean, it's just, I think that's like a whole city that we're going to see that we
Mm-hmm.
wish we had access to, and the power that we have access to, and the testing that we're doing there, and hiding all that. And then in Egypt too, I think everything's in the sand over there too, and under
Like under the
Jerusalem.
Sphinx.
Yeah, under Jerusalem, there's just
Mm-hmm.
cloches of throwing churches on top of a hill to hide everything that they wanted to hide underneath. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everything that we want is in the ground, and we all have to
Right.
go dig it back up.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that it's like, you know, I was watching something where they said that the Hall of Records was under the Sphinx,
Hmm.
and that they were going to excavate it, but this archaeologist, a Egyptian archaeologist, said no, there was nothing there. And then a year later he went, and then he said he did find something, but then he said he didn't. It's like they're always lying. They are always frigging lying. It's like
Right,
the books under the Vatican that were from the Library of Alexandria. That was like the storehouse of all knowledge. So,
right.
I mean, but what is it that was hidden away, from us? What was held back from us? What do you think it is? I mean, are we
Superhuman capability.
right? So we're the great creator race, and that's really what it is. We have the divine blueprint, and that's what they're trying to keep away from us.
Yes,
Hmm. You
we've
know, that
always have.
pisses me off totally.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we should be really pissed. Like humanity, instead of fighting each other, we should be like, fuck you people. We need to know the truth. We should be raiding the Vatican Library. We should be demanding that they excavate underneath the Sphinx. We should be going to Antarctica. We should find out what's going on in Arizona and the Grand Canyon. I mean, everything is held back from us. Why can't we just turn it around? That'd be
because they
great.
dumb down everybody so far that they can't even accept the real reality now. That's the
Hmm.
whole process now. So, I mean, like I did that drawing of the red ruby lake, and now I get pictures daily like, oh, look at Antarctica, it's running red, and like, yeah, that's what the Palladians told me, that it's there, and all of this stuff. I mean, that was one of those things. I'm like,
I
you
remember
got
that.
you got to be out of your mind. They're never gonna believe there's like red stuff in Antarctica, and it's everywhere now, and all this stuff. I mean, but like I said, so below, so above. So we got to flip everything that's below and bring it to the top.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So
So I'm looking at the chat to see if anybody had any questions for us. Okay. Anybody have anything they want to ask?
yeah, I got about 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
With an
Okay.
hour.
Yeah, we have an hour. So what else do you guys want to know? Oh, we did cover Zelensky. What do you think about Ukraine? We didn't cover that. So I hear he might
I
step
mean,
down.
that's just like the biggest prostitute
He's
state
disgusting.
situation. Yeah, it's just like a money laundering factory. That's all it was. And I mean,
Yeah, all those politicians had separate bank accounts, and there was
that's what I'm
inflow
saying.
going into
I
the people
think
who
next
voted for it.
week that it's gonna be one of those buildings. You're gonna come in the building, but you're gonna go out a different way, and you're gonna go in a bus when you go in. That's why you all must be there. You all are required to attend because you must be wearing the best suit that you ever want to wear and the nicest suit you ever wear, because it's the last time you're gonna be wearing that suit.
Exactly.
Next time you're gonna be orange suits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the best thing to do.
So
Load
somebody
them up.
just load them up. Somebody asked about the Islam cities in Texas. Will they be exposed? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think they will too. I mean, I already think they already are in tune to the whole process of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, did Chile go dark? Did you hear anything about that? I didn't hear
I
anything
have
about.
not heard anything about Chile yet.
Okay. I have not heard anything
My
about.
focus is this is where you need to focus. You need to focus on the sky and you need to focus on the water and you need to be listening in your ears for sounds. Those are the things they keep saying. The water, keep an eye on the water. Everything from our history has to surface to the top
Mm-hmm.
and frequencies and watching waves get into frequencies. Animals, mammals acting from frequencies and then paying attention to the sky. I think there's a warm weather that's going to come in so we can be outside and witness things because anything that they're telling me not to go outside, that is the first thing I'm doing. I'm going outside paying attention. I've been
Mm-hmm.
through enough storms on everything that I'm going to be bearing witness to see everything happening. So be taking pictures with your phone, whatever you can do, whatever the law is telling you to do, you need to do the opposite. Go outside.
Okay, that's really good advice. Um, let's see. Somebody. Oh, you know what? This is good news. No chemtrails in Florida.
Great.
Literally, no
Great.
chemtrails in Florida for the past week. There's
Good.
been an initiative here that Seer was doing with Marla Maples and Jackie Jordan, and no chemtrails.
Good.
Yeah, so that's good.
Well, they need to prosecute the ones who were putting that in the air.
Yeah,
They need to prosecute, and I'm talking about the ones that actually got in the plane and served that up. They need to be hung.
they do need to be hung. I actually heard somebody say they talked to or heard from one of the pilots who just hated humanity, and that's how he got the job. He was just so happy to drive a plane that put out chemtrails.
Wow, that's horrible.
Terrible. So
Terrible
somebody
person.
just asked about the whales beaching themselves.
There's a frequency. Where was that anyway?
Where was that? Um, Brenda asked.
Okay. So
Mm,
if that's happening, I'm telling you that they're very sensitive to any type of hearing, anything, any type of balance or change. So that means
mhm.
something's happening that's interrupting everything. So if that's happening within the week, I would be looking for a chain effect of affecting us on land.
Mhm.
They're very sensitive um, to hearing vibrations, and it can lead them off in a different way. So I'm just telling you that means something's happening inside our
Okay.
planet.
Well, if they're beaching themselves, that can't be good.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not good if it's vibrating. So I'd be looking
Right.
at what's going on in the ocean, what I would say.
I do worry about that.
Hmm. Exactly.
Um, let's see. Clinton. Some okay. Barron Trump truths about when the power goes down, etc. Just a week or so ago, we may be close. Okay.
So sensing
Mm-hmm.
and energy.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel we're close because we're at that point of pulling the plug and uh, pulling it out
Mm-hmm.
and then plugging it back in. When we plug it back in, we're getting into this new process. That's the thing.
Okay. It's kind of like pulling the plug out on the cable, or
Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. It's
resetting your
all.
computer. Mm-hmm.
We are.
Rebooting.
We're rebooting.
We're rebooting.
Are the colors in the sky, the colors of the sun, the vibration of the sun, the way the planets are. I'm expecting everybody should be guarding this spring like crazy and expecting big fruit, real fruit, because we haven't been. You're not eating fruit at the store. That's not fruit.
Ugh.
That's
Well, tastes
carbonated
like water.
crap.
Doesn't taste like
Oh,
strawberries and tomatoes don't taste like anything
they need to
anymore.
be submitting.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing Kenny needs to do is putting new seeds out there, real seeds that they had underground that they were making that needs to come to the surface so everybody can buy those real seeds and plant those real seeds so people can have real fruit again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, somebody asked, are we going to stasis as Jenny predicted?
Yes.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
We're going into a stasis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're as we change through our whole spiritual system, we're going into a stasis. I mean, it's all good. It's all that 5D process. If we're going into a stasis, and I do think that, you know, there might be a time where time might be frozen and we don't even realize it's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even realize we've been in a stasis staying in that long either. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's already got us aligned for that. It's already
Okay,
coming.
it's coming. So, in terms of like the bifurcation kind of thing, like that's happening.
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about like we were talking about how there's been a disconnection between, you know, people who are awake and who aren't, and it seems like there's
No,
two different realities.
there's two different paths. I have a picture
Yeah,
on Instagram where it has the path of the 5D
that's
people, and
right.
then have 3D people. They're following the red light
Mm-hmm.
and the evil doer, and then the 5D people are following the golden light and the golden path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's dividing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't feel like we're ever going to come back. I mean, it is what it is.
No,
It's that division is like not going to be healed.
we're gonna always go now.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a limitation for us. So, and like Spirit says, it's no longer your responsibility for the people that are left because they're not. They're just going to go to a different world and a different time.
Yes. So, okay, somebody said, I want to eat the number 4 apples or bananas. Good choice. Apples are really bad if they're not
Oh,
organic. Yep. Thank you, Linda. You're right. Okay. Yes, Pam Bondi is supposedly releasing the Epstein files tomorrow. Yes, we've been talking about that, and that is amazing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's really good.
What do you think is going to happen to those people who, you know, anything going to happen? Are they going to be held accountable for anything? Are we, I mean, the things that went on in that island are horrific. It's worse than anybody's.
Well, I mean, that's what I said. Oh, by the way, I'm putting a lot of merchandise on my website because everybody's asked for it, so they can go on the
Oh, cool.
website. I'm not advertising it, but I'm going to have puke buckets on there. There are, yes.
Oh my God, Jenny,
I
that's
got
too
some
funny.
shirts that say you're going to jail. I mean, people wanted it. I'm finally getting it out there, but it's not something I'm like, you can go to the website, you can look at it. That's where I'm going to be. But yeah, I'm actually buying the puke buckets.
That's
I'm
really
like, here
funny.
you go. And you can give them to your friend. Here you go. You're going to need this
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
because they're going to need it.
Yeah, well, it's like, sorry, hate to say we told you so, but we fucking told you so. All right, so somebody asked if it's safe to fly right now. And will the airports
I would say for
be closed?
another week. And after that, I wouldn't be flying.
You would not be flying.
After, I'd say another week, you'd be okay. But after that, I don't think so.
Okay. I wouldn't fly right now. I mean,
Oh, no.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're in another phase of this whole week is a Band-Aid rip-off week.
Yeah. You know what? I'd rather yank the Band-Aid off than do it slowly. Yank it off.
Right, exactly. It needs to be yanked off. And that's what the thing too is I told you. Remember guys, I told you. They need to give us money so when they get ready to pull the plug, we're not worried about money. Okay? So I want you to think just a little, maybe some of this money that you're getting, so you can like, okay, it's okay. I have $8,000 in my account, or bills are paid. Okay, so I already said it's not going to be 10 days, 3 days. So here we are. You know, they're not sweating it. Everything is going to unplug. You know, internet's going to be free. Power to power your house is going to be free. Everything's going to go down to, what does it say, 1949 prices. Come on. I mean, all this stuff. So here they
And
are
your
giving you
lips, babe.
money, so you're not stressing, because the next phase you need to chill.
Okay, Jen, somebody just asked, okay, the first arrest will shock the world. I wonder how close we are to
Biden.
that. It's going to be Biden.
It's going to be Biden. It's going to be Obama, and
That's
it's
what
going to
I thought,
be
Hillary.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows she's already dead.
Mm.
Those are the three, and then the hooker vice president that they used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So those are that's what's going on. So yeah. So this has been good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been fun, and you're gonna come to South Dakota when I move.
I sure am. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you're coming to Florida soon.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna go down to Florida. We're gonna have fun doing that too. So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great
Awesome.
process.
Well, another great show, Jen. Thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Okay, you guys have a good night. Stay in the light.
Yeah, and see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.